All right, welcome to the Dean Arnold Podcast. It is July 30th, and we are ready to start today's podcast, which is today's July 30th, and that's exciting for a few reasons for me. One of them being that we're almost 2 months in. I started this podcast June 1st. So I did all of June every day. Didn't really take a day off. In July, I took July 4th off, and that was it. And done almost all of July. So I'm just a couple days away from getting into month 3. And the first week of month 3 is an election. I'm running for Congress, Dean Arnold. Vote for me. Give to my campaign, DeanArnoldForCongress.com. I think I'm going to get my second donation this week from the website. Third donation overall. Hey, got to start small. Mustard seed, remember that? There's an election next week, August 6th, and Republican primary for Congress. I'm running as an independent, so you vote for me in November. But if you want to write me in as an independent, if you're going to go vote in the Republican primary next week, write me in, Dean Arnold. No harm done. You can vote for me again as an independent in November. So anyway, we got that going. Like, share, subscribe. I'm bringing sanity to an insane world. When we watch these videos today, today's topic is the Iran Lego videos. And when we watch some of these videos, those of you who haven't seen them, it's all kind of insane. We're insane. They're depicting insanity. And, you know, we just got to figure it all out. And but I'm bringing sanity to an insane world. We're going to look at these Iran videos and try to make some sense of them. Not easy when you're a boomer. I'm barely a boomer. I was born in March of 64. I think the cutoff is January 1st, 1964. So I'm barely a boomer, but I am a boomer. And it's hard for boomers to understand these Iran videos. I'm going to try to make sense of them and explain it best I can to you boomers. I don't know how well I'm going to do. All right. Let's go into the I got the stupid phone going on here. These people, I tell you what, they don't care about you. They care about them. Scripture of the day, the daily lectionary, as we call it. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. It's all about speaking in tongues. Paul spends like nearly a whole chapter talking about speaking in tongues. And take too long to get into the whole thing. He talks about speaking in tongues as a you can sort of see the private prayer language thing there that charismatics talk about, but he's mostly talking about speaking in another language. I did find an Orthodox precedent for speaking in tongues in different languages. Saint Porphyrios and Saint Paisios both had examples of people coming to them from other countries, and they interact with them in their own language, though neither of those parties knew Greek. So that was interesting. But in terms of the private prayer language, you don't hear much about it in the Orthodox Church. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. It probably does with certain monks who've been praying in a cave for 30 years, but no one ever talks about it. But that is the point that Paul's trying to make in this passage. No one ever talks about it. If you have a private prayer language and you never talk about it and no one hardly ever knows, you might be onto something. If you've got one and you talk about it all the time and you speak out in public all the time with your prayer language and no one interprets, you're probably not onto something. Because Paul's very, very clear that the whole point of coming together and being together in any situation is to edify one another and to speak to one another in a known tongue. That is the point. Love in all things. And he hates strife and he hates divisions. And if you are causing strife and bringing division amongst Christian brothers because of your private prayer language, you are off the mark. So I think that's really the main thing, love in all things. This whole passage starts with the famous love passage: "Love is patient, love is kind." Um, so that's the big takeaway about tongues is whatever you're doing with tongues, it better not cause strife, and it better be about love, and you better really be spending most of your time on known languages that help everybody else and not you. Let's go to Matthew. This is a story where the mother of James and John, she comes up to Jesus. She says, "I got a favor to ask you." Kneeling down and asking something from him. "What do you wish?" She said to him, "Grant that these two sons of mine may sit, one on your right hand and the other on the left, in your kingdom." Let me bring myself up there. If you remember, was it yesterday's passage or maybe 2 days before, we had the passages where the little children, all the mothers brought up their little babies, 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, whatever, for Jesus to bless them. The disciples didn't like that at all. But the mothers, they really wanted to get their children blessed, and they were smart to do that. Well, we got another mother doing the same thing, but she's doing it with her adult children, James and John. And she wants Jesus not to just bless them, but to put them on his right and his left in his kingdom. The triumphant conquistador on a white horse who's going to destroy the Roman Empire, the Messiah that they're all looking for. The disciples couldn't shake that. And if you remember, after Jesus rose from the dead, they still came to him and said, "When's your kingdom coming? When you come kick some butt?" And Jesus like, "It's really not what you guys think." But here's James and John's mother. She wants her sons on the right and on the left. She did not know what she was asking for. She was basically asking for her two sons to be martyred, tortured and martyred, because the kingdom that Jesus was building is you do torture and martyrdom in order to get to the next level. And so that's what she's asking, and that's what they got. Can you handle the cup? He asked James and John that I'm gonna have to handle. They're like, yeah, we could do it. Well, I'm not sure they probably could at that point, but eventually they could, and they did drink the cup of martyrdom. But I don't think they're on the right and left. Who is on the right and left of Jesus? That's a good question. I've thought about it here and there. I don't know the answer, but I have an idea, and I'll share it with you. I don't know that I'm right, but I think it's worth looking at. All right. Look at that right there. There's an icon. There's a lot of icons like that I could pull up. There's Jesus. Who's on his right and who's on his left? Well, on his right is Mary, the Theotokos, and on his left is John the Baptist, John the Forerunner. A lot of icons like that in the Orthodox Church. But let me make it a little more clear here for you. Whoops. That right there is an iconostasis, your average Orthodox church. Okay. You'll see that here on the right, I shouldn't use the word term right, but over here where I'm doing the cursor is Jesus. Over here to Jesus's right is Mary the Theotokos, and over here to Jesus's left is John the Baptist, John the Forerunner, just like I showed in that previous icon. And then over on the far left, every church has a patron saint. Ours is Saint Tikhon, Patriarch of Moscow. He'd be there. This church, I think, is the Transfiguration. So they've got an icon of Transfiguration. If it's Saint Andrew, Orthodox Church, Saint Andrew would be there. But the point being, in every Orthodox church, let me say that again. In every Orthodox church in the world, countries all over the world, little obscure little villages, whatever, when you come up to the front of the church, you're going to have Jesus there, Mary on his right, and John the Baptist on his left. Makes me think that that's what's going on in heaven and on earth. So just worth thinking about. Who gets to sit on his right and left? Okay. Saint of the day. This is very interesting. I'm not sure what to make of it, actually. Where my scriptures go. Saint of the day is Saint Zotny Dadiani, the Confessor. Saint Zotny Dadiani, the Confessor. I'm not sure what to do with this one. This one is, oh, I didn't bring him up. Come on, dude. What happened? Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. There he is. So sorry. Saint Dadiani, the Confessor. This guy's from Georgia, the country of Georgia, 13th century. And I'll just tell you the story. It's different. It's not really a supernatural story. It's a Christian nationalism story, you might say. We've seen that theme again with the country of Georgia, again and again. So Georgia has been under the yoke of the Mongol Empire for a few centuries. They're getting real tired of it, and they decided they wanted more money and more tribute from the Georgian princes, and they wanted more men for their military service. Kind of sounds like the U.S. government right now, doesn't it? And it became unbearable for the Georgian nobility, so they planned a massive rebellion against the invaders. So they assembled at the top of this mountain, Mount Kokta, and they agreed to assemble their troops there and attack on a single front. Zotny Dadiani were the first to muster their armies, and the other nobles were the first to muster their armies, but there were traitors in their ranks who tipped off the Mongols. The Mongols surrounded Mount Kokta, arrested the rebels, except for Zotny Dadiani, who got away, and they led them to a place where they basically they took all of them, bound their hands and feet, smeared them with honey, and threw them under the scorching sun, and interrogated them daily about the gathering on Mount Kokta. So these guys are getting interrogated and soon to be tortured, I guess, to expose the conspiracy that was hatched to rebel against the Mongol tyranny. So these guys are about to be killed. And so Zotny Dadiani, he became deeply distressed, and he traveled down to where they were, and the prince promptly tied himself up, and lay down next to them under the scorching sun. The disbelieving Mongols informed their leader about this strange man who had willingly laid down beside those who were condemned, demanded an explanation. He said, "We gathered with a single goal, to collect the tribute and fulfill your command. If it was for this that my countrymen were punished, I also desire to share in their lot," answered the courageous prince. Okay. This is weird, because he's basically lying. We've got a saint on the calendar, and it says they gathered together to form a rebellion, and they were about to attack with their armies. When Saint, or soon-to-be Saint, Zotny Dadiani gets questioned by the Mongol leader, he says, "Oh, we were just coming together to, count our P's and Q's and make sure we did a good job with this new tribute." So I guess lying in espionage is sanctioned or something. I don't know. I don't have answers. I'm just telling you. This is the saint story on the deed today. Zotny's chivalrous deed made a dramatic impression on the Mongols, and every one of the prisoners was set free. So he was set free, and all his people were set free because they were so impressed with this Zotny Dadiani. He lived to a nice, ripe old age. He's numbered among the saints, or he was canonized on October 26, 1999, which isn't too long ago. I read this in several other sources, and all the accounts agree. They gathered together to fight a rebellion. Now, actually, there was a successful rebellion a few years later in 1259. A guy named I forgot his name, something David, led the Georgian army successfully to overthrow the Mongols. Anyway, seems to be a lot of nationalism going on in the Republic of Georgia. Very fascinating. All right, I'll bring myself up. Anybody got more on this whole stuff with the Georgia and the nationalism and the license to lie if you're have to in extreme circumstances? I'd like to know more because I'm really kind of fascinated by the whole thing. Okay. Moving on to the topic of the day, which is Iran videos. Let me play one just so we can know what the heck it is we're talking about. Okay, this is the first one I'll play. They're getting millions of views on TikTok, Instagram, and X. All the younger people are watching them. You boomers might even not even know what the heck I'm talking about here. But let me play the first one, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. This is about just the overall situation in Iran. Okay, here we go.
You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning in hate. You told stop talking about Epstein. Now listen to the crowd. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder! Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Don't stop talking about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder! Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. You lied about Iran, said Navy is gone. You promised regime change from darkness to dawn. You're dreaming, your beautiful B-2s were flying so high, still shaking inside. You're about to cry. You stood on the stage, looking completely detached, saying, I don't care about voters, it's cash. Did he really say that? Yeah, he did. You care about ballrooms, luxury suites, while American families starve on the streets. Inflation is peaking, the economy's dead, but you worry about Israel instead. The corruption is deep, AIPAC's buying the state. Every politician's got a price on their plate. You're all just puppets dancing for funds, while Iran is standing and holding the guns. You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning in hate. You told stop talking about Epstein. Now listen to the crowd. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder! Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Don't stop talking about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder! Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. You called yourself.
All right, there you go. That is an Iran video. You're losing the straight. Everyone's filled with hate. Forgot the third part. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Candace Owens, who has like 7 million followers, played this on her podcast a couple days ago. And she's, along with the video, she's going, Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. All right, so much to say here. First of all, why are these things taking off? They're exploding with the younger generation. I'm thinking some of you boomers have never even heard of it. Y'all can chime in and let me know. It's a phenomenon. It's more of this divide in our world, and the matrix is breaking, and something's going to break, and we're going to get into a new era, a new paradigm. We shall see. All right. The first reason videos like this are working is because the truth is horrible and what they're depicting is true. And this Epstein thing is the tipping point for many, many people. It wasn't really the tipping point for me. The tipping point for me was Trump hating Massey and endorsing Lindsey Graham. I might have had a couple others. Epstein was certainly one of them. Trump and others do not understand that when you refuse to prosecute pedophiles, documented, horrible criminals doing terrible things to children because they're your friends, when you refuse to do that, all the rule of law is over. There is no nothing. Well, how can you tell me to pay taxes? How can you tell me to go fight a war in Iran? How can you tell me to be respectful to our leaders? Everything has broken down. There is no nothing until this Epstein thing gets cleared up. And they don't get that. So we're in a state of chaos, moral chaos, until this gets solved. So that's one of the reasons videos like this work, is because they're tapping into some truth. It's also working because this is the highest level of talent being used by Iran. I did a little bit of research on the people that are making it. It would be like taking, you know, the best, musician in America, the best music producer, Steven Spielberg, Quincy Jones, getting them together to put together some videos to help their cause. Well, some of the best talents in the world are getting together and making these Iran videos. These music tracks are unbelievable. The lyrics, the licks, the hooks, they're really good. And it's not just rap, as you'll see in a minute. So you got that going on. Then you got they understand the new world. The new world is not a specific didactic logical progression of teaching. That's over. Now we're getting into what they call a vibe. They're not really asking for arguments on these videos. They're looking for a vibe. They're getting a vibe, and you're getting this sense. Yeah, this all reinforces everything I've been thinking of how bad it is. And they put it in a Lego video because the kids understand Lego. Everybody likes Lego, and we got probably an attention span or a comprehension span of average 12 years old or something. Who knows? The Lego videos are working, folks. All right, we got some comments, so let's get to it soon here. Eric says, "Hey, Dean, thank you for that." Then we've got Barely a Boomer. I am barely a boomer. Thank you for that. I would like to read the book you edited, Revelation Explained. Yes, you can get it on Amazon. Revelation Explained. Google Dean Arnold, Revelation Explained. You can go to my website, deanwarnold.com. It's out there. Okay. Wildkeeper says, Dean is not a boomer. He's a bloomer. All right. I'll take that as a compliment. All right. This person here, Cheddar, gives us a laugh. That's probably based on that. A couple of emojis. I'm not sure what they mean, but that's all right. Okay. Let's do the next Lego video. Okay, so I have to get rid of that. Yeah, bring up another one. This one is the Charlie Kirk. The Charlie Kirk. I think that's going to be the Mel one. Where'd you go, Mel? All right, this is a Charlie Kirk video, Lego video. And we'll watch half a minute to a minute of this. Iran's tapped into the whole Charlie Kirk thing. It's more of the no rule of law. We're losing all trust in institutions. FBI, Department of Justice, it's all corrupt. The Charlie Kirk thing is showing that, and nobody knows what to do, except nobody believes it. And then Iran makes this video, and it's like, oh yeah, there you go.
Check, mic check. He said no war, now read the rest. Before the bombs, before the flex. We need Charlie off the set. Mic check, hot mic, black shards, white text. Rifle story, bullet test. Too many questions left unchecked. He told her right, don't take that ride. I ran it outright, don't sell that lie. Regime change, turns fire to flood. 90 million lives, mountains blood. MAGA heard them, numbers don't lie. Almost 90 said no when the poll went high. No war with Iran, that message spread. Then the war drums came when the voice went dead. SUV floor, pieces on black. Roll white marks, now run that back. They said one shot, one rooftop frame, but the mic got louder than the official claim. Mic check, mic check. He said no war, now read the rest. Before the bombs, before the flex. Who needed Charlie off the set? Mic check, hot mic, black shards, white text. Rifle.
Okay, we can stop it there. So once again, very catchy. Mic check. And what are they talking about? Well, evidence is starting to look pretty clear that it was an exploding microphone under Charlie's chest that killed him, and not a bullet, because obviously it wasn't a 30-06 bullet. Everybody knows that. And of course, we've got the exploding beepers that Israel was so proud of, where they killed a bunch of Hezbollah leadership by giving them a bunch of beepers that exploded, killed them all. Netanyahu even gave Trump as a gift a golden exploding beeper. So this exploding beeper thing would dovetail the same kind of explosive technology as the little box microphone underneath Charlie's shirt that could have exploded and killed him. And the evidence is looking pretty good for that. So the video from Iran is mic check. Check that mic. Not looking good. All right. So once again, they're exposing serious problems we have right now with the U.S. government. All right. One more I'll do, which is going to be, let's see if I can figure it out for you. Okay. Yeah. There's so many I could do, but if you Google Iran Lego videos, you can watch all of them. They've been doing it for a couple of months, and there's so many of them. They're really good. But I'm going to do this one for you because this one has a different music genre. It's not all rap. This one's different. This has actually got my kind of music. So let's bring it up and listen to it.
Oil tankers up in flames, only one man to blame. It's become hard to say his name. War is a loser's game, one he wishes he never played, 'cause of the mess he made, and yet he's still the same. War is a loser's game. Each time he showed his hand, his bluff was called by Iran. It was all he could stand. War reveals the man, self-obsessed Fox News clown, giving illegal orders out of rounds. He thinks he's a manly man, but he's a coward no truth can stand. And as he battles blind, he commits more crimes. He doesn't think he'll pay the price. With his boss, he should think twice. Long term, I don't like.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. I could keep going because I like the music. This is very disrespectful and irreverent. And why am I playing it? Because Donald Trump deserves disrespect and irreverence. We're assassinating foreign leaders. We are lifting up pedophiles, criminals, people like Lindsey Graham. We are denigrating heroes and good men like Thomas Massie. The list goes on and on. Irreverence and disrespect is the order of the day. And I'm playing these videos because of it. That's right. Okay. Was there a final takeaway on these Iran videos? Hey, we're in a propaganda war. And if you're a boomer over 65 and you don't know what the heck's going on and you've never even seen one, you're just out of the loop. The matrix is breaking. Something's going to happen. All moral chaos has unfolded in the United States, and we've got to get a grip on it. Lord help us. Lord have mercy. I'm running for Congress. Vote for me. Give to my campaign, DeanArnoldForCongress.com. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm bringing sanity to an insane world. It's July 30th. One more day of July. Considering the Persians' love for poetry, it only makes sense that they resort to AI Lego music, lots of laugh. Well, thank you for that comment. Yeah, I mean, the Persians aren't anything to be trifled with. And the American propaganda attempts to equate Persian Iranians with towel wearing, head towel wearing, rifle lifting, radical ISIS types, which actually we fund. that's another story. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The Persians, these are serious competitors, and they're holding their own on the conventional war going on over there, and they're kicking our butts on the propaganda war. Maybe not if you watch only Fox News, but if you are 50 and below and watch everything else, they're kicking our butts, and they are picking the right demographic because that's the one where the future is. Oh, yes. Well, it's been a heck of a podcast. I'm looking forward to moving on to tomorrow. Let me go ahead. I didn't get to do my ZZ Top thing today, but that's okay. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. All right. Appreciate you guys.
Dean Arnold.